Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order, as best I know how. Alright, here we go. The Clone Wars. I want to start off by saying, this one I've been dreading. You're saying, oh Matt, they have the Clone Wars timeline online. It's not complete. Trust me, I know. I've seen the stuff that's on there and they don't have a lot of the little bits that I have, and I don't know what timelines they fit in. So I'm going to do my best, as the best I know how, for real this time. Because in my opinion, unless I'm proven wrong, I don't know if anyone's ever done this with this much EU content and set up this timeline. Am I going to be 100% right? No. In general, the timeline for Clone Wars is very screwed up. Remember Dave Filoni's Clone Wars when it came out? You basically had to scrunch all the stuff before the Clone Wars TV show has to be scrunched from years to months for everything to fit now. And of course, I'll mention that in some books, you know, that the crunch is on. But regardless of that, though, it's just hard to go through this because there are so many stories within Clone Wars. This is probably my least liked story timeline error, the Clone Wars error, because there's just so much and it just kind of runs together. But enough of my belly aching. Let's get into these stories. Now the first one you're going to read is actually a comic book, a Toys R Us exclusive comic book that I talked about a few weeks ago. This one's called Machines of War by Jason Hall. Basically, it's featuring the Republic warship that you see in the movie. And this is the comic book that came with it. And in the book, not much happens. It's basically around or during the time of Attack of the Clones, like Yoda getting there and him talking to clones about how awesome this warship is. You know, it's there to sell the toy. But yeah, it's not, not bad, not good, just one of those little stories. Again, these Toys R Us exclusive comics are included in that omnibus Menace Revealed that you can get for super cheap online. So don't fret, fans who want to be completists like me. Those are easy books to find. The next one that you need to read is, again, another Toys R Us exclusive comic book by Jason Hall. It's called Most Precious Weapon. Now, I have no idea what toy this is supposed to feature. It says it's a lightsaber. Now, you can do fun things with your lightsaber. Basically, it's about Count Dooku's thoughts after he escapes at the end of the movie. And he's kind of recounting what just happened and, how he can't wait to get back to his master. So it's in between that scene and the last scene, I guess, for Attack of the Clones. But the story is, it's not that much. But I don't know what lightsaber this went with, like I said, because I bought the lightsabers. I have a huge box of lightsabers in my closet, and Count Dooku's was one I bought. So I guess it wasn't in Count Dooku's one, or I would have gotten it there. Anyway, these books, people have asked me, it sounds like garbage. Yeah, it basically is, they're there to sell toys and nothing else. So are they skippable? Yeah, but do they come in this part of the timeline? Yes, they do. All right, let's talk about an actual novel, a young adult novel by Terry Bisson titled Boba Fett, The Fight to Survive. Now, this happens after Attack of the Clones. Young Boba Fett, well, the first half of the book actually happens during the movie. It's from young Boba Fett's eyes. And then after his dad's died, he goes to get his armor, and I don't want to ruin too much here, but he's going to search for Darth Tyrannus, per Jango Fett's parting, request, to kind of get his fortune from that Jango left to him. Now, when this came out, it kind of shocked everyone. I don't know, it shocked me. I was like, what are they doing a Boba Fett, young Boba Fett book? Ooh, and everyone wants to read about young Boba Fett. His past is kind of a mystery. They straightened it out online a long time ago, about the whole Concord Dawn, let me see, I think he was a Jedi, a Mandalorian warrior that survived a battle in the Marvel comic books. And then, of course, in Dark Empire, a rogue stormtrooper who killed his superior. They kind of tied all those in to make it fit in one continuous storyline for him. And this book doesn't go into any of that. It gives hints toward, what he will become, but nothing that big. Now, Aura Singh is actually featured in these books, and this is before the Clone Wars TV show by Filoni. So it's nice to see her in the books. But reading it, the first one, it's slow going. Because I'm not much for recounting the events of the movies. There's tons of journals that do that, and I don't buy any of the journals. I just don't. It's just a retelling of the movie. There's no EU stuff in there that I can tell when I read through. Because I used to read through the journals, at the bookstore thinking, is this something I need? Nah, it's not. And this one's almost that. I mean, there is some stuff because it's Boba Fett's doing some adventures while the Attack of the Clones storyline is going. But, it's basically a retelling of that. And then the last half is where it gets interesting, but not interesting enough. It builds up steam in the later books that I'll talk about. But the first one wasn't that big of a that you want for your first novel. Now, nothing wrong with Terry Bisson, or Bison, I don't know how you say his name. But nothing wrong with his writing. That wasn't the problem. It just didn't, hit me like the other young adults books had. Now, remember, at this point, I'd read Jedi Apprentice, Jedi Quest, and I guess I was holding too high a tier for all young adult books because those novels were so good. But this Boba Fett novel, I mean, if you love Boba Fett, like, oh, cool, original trilogy, fighting Boba Fett, these are not the books for you. This is young Boba Fett. He can't do all the amazing things. He can do some cool stuff, but he's not all that amazing. He's still kind of going through, his dad's, beheadment right in front of him, right? Because he picked up the, helmet at the end of the movie. I was kind of wondering if the severed head was just going to drop right out. That'd have been funny, wouldn't it? George would have shocked everyone. Let's have Jango's head just fall out of there. Just really mess the kid up. I don't know. But anyway, should you read it? Yeah, I mean, go ahead. If you like Boba Fett and if you like the prequels, then I don't see why not. But if you like, older Boba Fett and you're thinking, Matt, can I get something out of this? No, this basically focuses on new Boba Fett. But those are just some of the stories that you read right after Attack of the Clones. All right, folks, that's all for today. I'll see you next time with another video. Hey! Chocolate M&Ms? Lurdo, you've been holding out on me. Oh, that wasn't M&M. Oh, you really need to be potty trained. Oh.